In this video, I'm going to be making Hershey's Cookies and Cream Fillows cookie dough truffles. So these are they're not going to be baked. So you have to, the dough that you want to use needs to be eggless. You're going to be using a eggless chocolate chip cookie dough. So we're going to be making that first. But for this recipe, you're going to be needing 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of flour, which is right here. You need ½ teaspoon of baking soda, 1 stick of butter at room temperature, a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, ½ teaspoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of milk, a ½ cup of chocolate chips. That is for your eggless chocolate chip cookies. And then for when we start on the truffles, for the actual truffle part, you're gonna need 3/4 cup of the Hershey's Cookies and Cream Fillows cereal, which is here. You need 12 ounces of chocolate chips, which I'm using a variety because that's what I had, but this is 12 ounces in this cup. I measured it. You need, you can have sprinkles for the top to decorate, and you also need some almond bark, but you don't need much. I'm gonna try to see if we can get away with just using 2 squares and see if that'll do it. So the first thing you wanna do is, like I said, you wanna make your eggless dough. And like I said, the reason it's eggless is because these aren't going to be baked. You're going to be eating them raw. So you take your flour and your baking soda and you just whisk that together, and you're going to set this aside. So my butter is at room temperature, and I'm going to put it in my mixer, and I'm going to whisk it until it's creamy. I did this eggless chocolate chip, I made eggless chocolate chip cookies. So if you watch that video where I made the eggless chocolate chip cookies, then you've already seen how I make this dough. So you could skip over that part if you wanted to until the dough comes out of the refrigerator, and then you could come back. Now you're gonna add both of your sugars, your white sugar and your brown sugar. Mix it again. Your vanilla and your milk, and mix again. Now you want to add your flour and baking soda mixture. Take this off the base. We're gonna scooch you over a little bit. We're gonna stir in our chocolate chips. This is our ½ cup of chocolate chips. And once you get these stirred in, I'm going to move them over to a bowl. And I'm gonna put these in the refrigerator, put it in the refrigerator to chill for ½ an hour, and then we'll be back. My cookie dough was in the refrigerator for ½ an hour, so I want to put that in my mixer. And to that, I'm going to add my Hershey's Cookies and Cream Fillows cereal. And then I'm going to combine this. Scooch over here. And now, I had a cookie scoop, but I'm just gonna use my hands, and you want to roll these into balls like this. You can make them as big or small as you want, and you can fill up the entire tray with these because, like I said, you're not baking them or anything like that, so you can put them really close together, and you should be able to fit them all onto one baking sheet with parchment paper. And as soon as I get all of this dough rolled into balls, I'm gonna put this in the freezer for half an hour. Freezer for half an hour. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna melt the chocolate. We're gonna put it in the microwave for 30 seconds and stir it up, and then we'll do another 30 seconds and stir it up until it's all melted, and then we're gonna work quickly. We're gonna dip each of these cookie balls in it and then put them right back on this cookie sheet. So we'll be back when this is melted. Okay, we put this in the microwave for 30 seconds, 30 seconds, and then 15 seconds. So you roll them around in there and then you plop them back out here. And I'm gonna do that with as many as I can. And if I don't get them all covered with chocolate, it's okay. But I'm gonna try to cover as many as I can with chocolate. About half of them with the chocolate. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to melt the almond bark now. Same way we melted the chocolate, I'm gonna do it with the almond bark, and I'm gonna dip the rest of these into the almond bark. Before I let this completely dry, I'm gonna add some sprinkles to the tops of these. And to the ones that have already dried a little bit, I might try to drizzle some almond bark on those. We'll see how it goes. Here is my melted almond bark. And put it here. And like I said, you can use chocolate for all of these, but I figured that I would use both just to see which way I like it best. Or I might really like a combination of the two, actually, if you have enough of both. You could do this with any chips that you have. Just melt them in the microwave and you'll get whatever flavor you want. I'm gonna put some sprinkles on top of these. I'm gonna leave some of these plain. That way we can tell which way we like them best. And now I'm gonna take some of this chocolate, this almond bark, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna drizzle some over the top of this. And it helps if you use a whisk, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm gonna even put some over the ones with the sprinkles. I just think it looks pretty like that. And so now we're gonna leave these to harden. So let this cool off, and then we'll be back. Okay, I have one of each kind here on the plate. I think we ought to try it plain first.
Yeah.
And like I said, the reason you use the eggless cookie dough is because you're not baking this, you wanna be safe.
Some people don't.
Some people don't worry about it, and if you're not worried about it, honestly, you can avoid a lot of all that at the beginning. You could buy refrigerated chocolate chip cookie dough if you're not worried about it having the egg in it, and you could jump to the step where you add the cereal. Mmm.
It's good, it's different.
I like the texture.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's really much on here. It tastes like cookie dough.
It does. I really like the texture. There's a little bit of crunchiness in it from the cereal.
That's really all I got from the cereal mostly was just the crunch.
The crunch. You really don't get a lot of strong flavor. You want to try the white one, the almond bark? Now, I will tell you, when you go to my blog, tammydunn.net, to get the link to this recipe, the lady that I found this recipe from, she used Crave cereal. And since this cereal is new, well, no one's made any recipes like this from it. So I use, since Crave is a filled cereal, that's why I figured this would work just as well.
Actually, I think I got a little more of the cereal taste with that one. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like it with the almond bark.
Almond bark is like one of my favorite things.
It's like a vanilla coating.
Mm-hmm.
It's not chocolate.
No, but I absolutely love it. And it is perfect for dipping foods into.
I think that's mostly what I pay for. I don't
for
know that I've
dipping.
ever seen anything else with almond bark.
It's absolutely fantastic. If you haven't tried anything with almond bark, you really need to. So this is the one with the milk chocolate.
Chocolate really stands out.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, the cereal itself, what you get from that is just the crunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm sure you would miss it. Some of that cocoa flavor, some of that Hershey's cookies and cream flavor.
But you already have so much chocolate going on,
Right.
that it doesn't add a lot to it.
Right. The only thing that it's really adding to is that crunch.
Yeah, which I like. I like the crunch in there.
But I think you could do a lot of cereals this way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cereals. But we also bought the Pillsbury cinnamon roll Fillows. And so I plan on making this exact same recipe, but I plan on using that cinnamon roll.
Yeah, I'm not curious to see if the cinnamon comes out.
Exactly. That's what I'm curious with. Are you going to be able to taste that cinnamon at all? Is it going to make a difference? So when you see that video come out, if you're interested, just know it's going to be the same thing, but I'm going to substitute to see how that works. So I hope you try these. They're a little bit time consuming because you have to wait for the cookie dough and all that. But like I said, if you use refrigerated cookie dough, you can skip a lot of steps. So if you don't mind that raw egg in there. So I think these are absolutely delicious.
I think they're really good.
Yeah.
And they taste better with stuff dipped on them than plain.
I agree. I like this.
Plain's okay.
My favorite is the almond bark.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Although the chocolate's good. I like the almond bark because it adds a more vanilla kind of flavor to it.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to have a picture for you at the end, and thanks for watching.